Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on CanaPino. This is your Canadian-Filipino cross-culture relation connection point. Wow, that came out better than I thought.
Wow. Hello po, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Rowena. Good afternoon, mabuhay po.
Maraming salamat sa lahat.
Oh, wow.
That's my big line. I've used that a number of times to great success.
Good for you. He can speak Tagalog too.
Konti lang. Anyways, we are, of course, I'm Peter. This is my wife, Rowena, and we are a Canadian-Filipino couple. We've gotten married, and this is sort of the story of how we came together and ended up getting married, and just talking about what it's like having a cross-cultural relationship. So in our first episode, we talked about where we started, how we met. Second episode, we talked about dating across cultures. And in this episode, we'll be talking more about intercultural differences. So things that either of us might have misunderstood about the other culture or what have you. We'll just kind of get into it and see where this goes because it's always an adventure. In the early days, I guess, of our relationship, what did you see? Like, I have my own list of things, or a list. It's not really a list. It's only a couple of things of what our challenges were when we started dating. What do you see as being our challenges when we first started dating?
Of course, I'm very busy. Yeah. You know,
Yes,
Filipino
it
love.
was hard to get her to stop working.
Yeah, so I've been working for 7 days a week. If there's 8 days, I can work 8 days.
Oh, yeah, she would have, for sure.
But, you know, I met my love of my life. So it eventually it became 6 days and then 5 days.
Well, actually, the way it started out was I think I convinced you to finally take a half day on Sundays.
Oh, yes. That was...
You went down to a half day on Sundays, so you were finished at like noon or 1 o'clock, something like that, and then we could spend the rest of the day together. And that was really the only time that we had to spend together. And then finally you took the whole day Sunday off, and that was like a big treat, you know, because we could spend more time. And then I think you ended up, you kind of went whole hog and you took the whole day off Saturday too. I don't think you went down to just a half day.
Yes.
So then we had the whole weekend.
That's right. It
That was
became
exciting.
when I think it's after a year when I got 2 days off, Saturday, Sunday.
I think so.
But it's a long process, and then eventually it became 2 days off. So
Yeah. It was so hard convincing her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I kept saying, how come you can't take a bit more time off? Like, I never get to see you. We don't get to hang out and,
Yeah.
do all these different things.
I'm very independent and very career oriented. So I just came here to work, not anything else. Eventually I got involved to love affair.
That's right.
So that's why. So, and then I adapt that one, and then I adjusted. So, and thankfully, and I realized it's really good to have a day off with your husband or your loved ones. So, it connects you more. And,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Yeah, especially if you have a good chemistry. So you're looking forward to have a day off to
Decompress.
yes, and to reconnect. Yeah.
And reconnect, yes. Decompress, reconnect. Yes, all the connections.
Yeah. So how about you? What's your really a big challenges when early dating? To me,
Well, part of it was the time aspect, and the other was money. Because I owned my own business, so I didn't have a lot of money to spend. I would have loved to have been able to take you on, more extravagant dates or, weekends away or something like that. But, I just didn't have the funds. Being self-employed is, it's nice, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a real challenge. So
I know, but I didn't really see that way about you when we're first time we're dating, and then one of my friend, mentioned about. I will not say anything, but mentioned that friend that who said that to me that he's because she asked me about what is Peter's doing, and then I said he's a musician, and then she said, "Oh, musician has no, you know, has less."
Musicians don't have any money.
I will not say more because
That's a commonly
not all
known
musician.
fact.
Okay, just for Peter only. Okay. Sorry.
It's a well-known fact. Musicians are broke.
Okay. Mhm.
Nothing to be ashamed of there. But musician wasn't my primary job though.
Mm-hmm.
It was I had a courier company,
Yes.
and that was my main source of income. Thank God, because if I was a musician, I mean, we'd be worse than broke.
Mhm. And also, that's the one that I'm really worried because you're traveling a lot. That's the one that I've been always thinking. Oh, I'm worried because you're always traveling, going to a far, very far. Blue Mountain, Purple. What is that? Purple Hill. Any kind of colors is there. Blue Mountain, Purple Hill, and any orange bill. He's there.
Yeah, I used to do most of Southern Ontario,
Yeah.
and then later I ended up doing cross-border automotive. So there was a lot. Well, I was away for the whole week basically because I would drive, out to Ottawa, then back through Toronto and down into the U.S. to go
Yeah.
and deliver parts.
Exactly. Especially the winter is really hard, and I can't really sleep properly because I've been thinking what's happening to him, and
Was there anything from a cultural standpoint that you didn't really connect with or didn't really understand? Because I know in the Philippines, and this was one of my things, is you don't have Thanksgiving and you don't have Halloween.
yeah.
So it's for me it was just different, because I had never really thought about other countries not having certain holidays or things.
Well, when I was young and I didn't really realize about Halloween. Maybe some Filipino has Halloween, but it's not really a big event to us before. But now it's really they're celebrating Halloween now. And then Thanksgiving, we don't have really Thanksgiving. We usually spend Christmas. It's more in Christmas, what Filipino, culture about Christmas. It's
So
start-
hang on a second.
I'm sorry.
They started having Halloween?
Yeah, Gab is sometimes attending for, Halloween costumes with
Really?
candies, and they have basket already. And Rita,
Wow.
my sister, is trying to, for her youngest, baby G, to get, Halloween basket to get, one house to house, or like they're doing in the mall. So they will go to the, every outlet of the mall, and then they will ask for trick or treats. Yes.
How does that work, though, when it comes to navigating that around Christmas? Because you guys in the Philippines, you start prepping for Christmas at the end of August. And
Well,
the
it's
trees
overlapping.
Are up. So everybody just takes, a week during October to just disregard the Christmas trees and put a mask on and
Yeah.
go and collect candy.
That's right. They don't mind. As long as it will start September, month of September, the Christmas is really starting. So the
That's so
ambience and the Christmas songs, everything is on September started. So
Okay.
that's they said. So it become Christmas on December. So yeah.
I'm surprised. How come you didn't tell me about this before?
Oh, you don't know? Okay,
No,
I'm telling
I
you
didn't.
now.
Well, there we go. There's a cultural misunderstanding right there.
Yeah. Before we don't have really Halloween. I don't know, maybe rich people in the Philippines, but when I was young, I don't really remember that we're having event for Halloween. So just only Christmas and New
then,
Year.
yeah, and then of course, because you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. When did you first start celebrating Thanksgiving here?
When?
Yeah.
Oh, when I came here. No, first year because every year every Canadian people are celebrating. So you don't miss that. So every year you're celebrating who mat, whoever you're with like
Oh, I
my
see.
coworkers, my friends, and everybody. So it's a
Oh, okay.
part of the Canadian culture is Thanksgiving. So we enjoy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving too.
I
Yeah.
wasn't really sure because I always kind of figured, well, okay, so the families that you work with would celebrate Thanksgiving, and maybe you would kind of get invited into that a
Yes.
little bit. But, I figured, well, maybe if you're not working with a family, for Thanksgiving, that maybe you wouldn't have really celebrated. I didn't really think that Filipinos as a group would adopt that into their
Yes.
own. Well, that's cool.
Well, yeah, we're really easy to adapt. Every no matter
Very
where you
adaptable.
are.
Very adaptable.
Yeah,
You're like
Filipinos
Play-Doh.
are everywhere, so we're very adaptable. And also, when we get together for Thanksgiving, for me, a main event because you and I will go to your family means we're family. So I just go, and usually every year, Peter's family is celebrating Thanksgiving, and Mom was really is the host and a big event for her. She will bake everything, you name it, like
Yeah.
chocolate pie, all different kind of pies, sugar pie, chocolate pie, pineapple, apple, or whatever, strawberry.
Pineapple apple.
Yeah.
I think there's a
And
song that has that pineapple apple pineapple something.
so yeah, so Peter and I will go to his family and to Mom, especially to Mom, and we'll stay overnight there for the weekend. There's a one event, that's Thanksgiving that I was helping Mom to set the table. Usually, I'm the one in charge of setting the table. Rosie, can you get me a leaf? Oh,
Get the leaf for the table.
yeah, leaf for the table. Oh, I said, what is that? I didn't know that. And then that stupid leaf is on the floor. I found one leaf, the green leaf.
One maple leaf.
I said to Mom, I picked it up and then I said, Mom, is this the one? And then, Mom was saying, she was so polite and very nice. And she said, no, Rosie. And then, I ran. Okay, Mom. I ran to Peter and then I said, Sister, your mom saying about leaf. I don't know about the table. Oh, wait a minute. I will get that. Oh, we went to the cupboard. Where is that bedroom? And he opened that. Oh, it's a big leaf. Oh, my God. That's a leaf of the table. That is you extend to the table. It's the
The
extension.
table extension. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So,
I thought that was the best though. Just
oh,
like
my God.
and that's really just a language barrier thing. If Mom had said, "Oh, can you get the leaf for the table to make it bigger?" You might have had a little bit different thought because there was a bit more information attached to it.
Yeah, that's right.
But because she, like in English, we just say, "Oh, get the leaf for the table."
Yes. I don't have any idea what about that leaf about. Then I said, that stupid leaf I found on the floor. Anyway, that's. But
Oh,
Mom
man.
was really, really very patient and very smiling, and she's so cute. You don't
Oh,
see
man.
her that she's really frustrated and angry. No, never.
No, she
Yeah.
wasn't angry. No, she never got angry.
No, no. And for you, sweetheart, what is really the struggle, the barrier about our relationship?
Geez, where to start? God, so
Wow,
many.
that's a lot.
No, there wasn't really big barriers. I don't think. I mean, when I think about challenges in our relationship, it's really just centered around like Filipinos do everything together, which I think is really cool. But when you come from a culture that, like, you have times that you're all together, but then you have, a lot of time where you're just on your own, or you're just, your wife or your little family or whatever it is. I think sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge, just because, it's a bit of an adaptation to try and make room for everybody else to be there as well. But it's still a lot of fun, and I've always enjoyed it. But I think there are some times where I kind of go, oh, like, it'd really be nice to just have just us for this or something like that. But I never like saying no, because I do love, all of your friends that are now my friends as well, and how we've, all come together. And I mean, we're all such a close knit group, of friends. And I feel like I'm, 85% Filipino just because
they accepted you right and then.
Yeah. I mean, they've all welcomed me in, with open arms, which is such a sweet thing. I can honestly say, like, I don't have big challenges. They're all just little things, like that. Food is a little bit of a challenge because I'm not as adventurous when it comes to food as I would kind of like to be sometimes.
But you enjoy Filipino food.
I do, but but not all of it. Like, there are some things that, no, that's not happening.
I know. But actually, he knows how to cook his favorite adobo.
Yeah, well, because that's how I got all of this. This used to be 150 pounds, and it's now a little more than I'd like to say. But within 3 months, I was 180. So it kind of says something for the adobo and rice that your friends used to make me all the time.
It's really good.
But it's been fun to learn, how to cook those different dishes, because I like cooking, more because my mom taught me and taught all the boys in my family. But it's fun for me to learn those different things and try those different things, especially when I can make it for other Filipinos and have them enjoy it. It means a lot to me because I feel like I've kind of captured some of that, Filipino culture in the way that I cook.
The good thing for Peter, for my husband, he did well. He did his best to adjust with the Filipino food. He eat rice. He learned to eat rice, and he learned to cook adobo, and he learned how to cook pansit, nilagang baka, and what else is that? Lechong kawali.
Lechong kawali, yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because there are certain flavors and things in Filipino food that just don't mesh with what's going on up here for me. Like kare-kare. With the peanut butter and beef is
it's no for you.
I know. Yeah, it's a big miss. Peanut butter goes on toast, not on beef. But I mean, everything is what you grow up with, right? So had I grown up with that, I'm sure I'd love it.
But really, I really appreciate that you learn how to eat and how to cook Filipino food. That's the one thing.
Even
sweetheart.
boodle fight.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He experienced the Buddha fight. So, eating with bare hands. So,
yeah.
So, it was really fun.
Boodle fight, they put out banana leaves on the table, and they put all the food in the middle, and then everybody kind of eats from the middle of the table. But yeah, it's all bare hands, which is fine when you're just your family or your small group of friends who you know. But if you go out to a restaurant, they do that in restaurants, but they do them with gloves now, which is, I mean, it's good because from a sanitary perspective, it's good. But I know it was a little weird when we first tried it. I was like, I don't know.
It's
a little weird. But I had fun. It was good. It was a good experience.
Yeah, you see, that's a good thing to Peter. He tried, and he never really put it down, and then just try, and then if you will try again, no thanks.
Yeah.
Peter and I learn eating sometimes different food. I'm having Filipino food, and he's having, he's a Irish background, so he likes potato and meat and potato, meat or potato and meat. Just the two, potato, meat, potato, like that.
Usually all together.
So we are mostly we're eating different food, but we're eating together. So that's the good thing. We have a good conversation. We're enjoying our food, our own, but no stress. There's no stress about it. Yeah.
No. And you've learned to cook some Canadian or North American dishes as well. And
That's
one
right.
thing I'm really glad that you learned how to make was meatloaf. Because when I had your meatloaf, first of all, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's not the Filipino meatloaf.
Oh, yes. I learned how to cook, Canadian food because, he's learning about Filipino food. Why do I have to learn also Canadian food? So I learned about the meatloaf. Yeah. Canadian version. Yeah. Because, Filipino version is different way of meatloaf. The way they cook, you put a hot dog and egg in the middle and you wrap with the meat. So when you slice, you can see in the middle the hot dog and egg.
And raisins. They have raisins in there
Oh,
too, don't they?
yes, you're right. Yeah, with raisins. So it's different.
That's the part that weirds
Yeah.
me out. The beef and the hot dog, okay. Add the egg, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The raisins, no.
Yeah.
I don't even have raisins in my butter tarts.
Yeah, those are really, a challenge for us. But, it's very minor. You don't have to eat if you don't like one. And if you like, you eat, and then you will eat something.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, we compromise everything. So
For sure.
Yeah, so there's no stress. We enjoy it.
No. And I know, like, some people will put a lot of weight on, having all the same things or liking all the same things, or do you know what I mean? It's like there's always been a big thing in relationship culture, at least in North America, where the more you share, in common that, you like this, I like this, we like the same foods, we like to do the same activities, that it makes you super compatible. And in some ways, yeah, I guess it does. But I think also, too, it can make things too predictable or too easy. You need a little bit of difference in your relationship, that you can both draw some experience from. Because if you're always just having the same things and not really growing as a person, by trying different things, I think that can have a negative impact on the relationship.
That's our
thoughts.
spice of life,
Yeah.
Explore and explore, try different things. It makes more, spicy and challenging and exciting and loving.
I know the biggest challenge or difference that we have is in language, like some of the language barrier.
For me, that's the biggest language. That's the biggest barrier because sometimes I get mad, but I can't really express myself. I can't really find my words to speak English. I have to think what I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah.
The kind of language or kind of words. So,
And I know, like, for me, when there's things that you're trying to describe to me and I'm not getting it, it can be sort of frustrating because you're kind of expecting to hear certain things that will take you, down the road to understanding what it is you're talking about. And so I'm always reminding myself, like, I always try and give you as much leeway as I can to say, I get it. She's struggling with a word. I'm trying to help find that word for you, or, and I'm sure you're doing the same for me too.
I know it's hard, every time he will say something, euphemism, idiom phrases and everything. I can't really understand. And what now? I have to process the long process to realize about it.
She thought about it so much she put it in her wedding vows. But we'll talk about that when we get to our wedding. But yeah, I mean, we've got so many different stories about, our language differences or our language barriers, the things that, always come up, and they're always so funny. And this is one of the things that I always love about Rowena and the way that she is she's got such a fantastic sense of humor about all of that she can see the humor in the mistakes that she's made. Like just a couple of quick examples, because I always love these ones. When we were driving and I pulled out to pass someone, and we were driving Rosie's little Toyota, and I stepped on the gas, and that poor little thing was trying to keep up, and we had a couple of friends in the back seat, and she looked at me and she said, "Sweetheart, this is not safari." And I thought, wait a minute, safari? I'm thinking of lions and elephants, and it's a safari. And then her friend in the back seat says, she means Ferrari. Right, okay. Now that makes sense. Yeah.
Sometimes my brain is upside down, so forgive me.
And the other one that I always like was she came to me, and it was a very serious subject, and I felt bad that I didn't fully understand, but she says, "Oh, my cousin passed away." And I said, "Oh no, what happened?" And she said, "Carjack."
Carjack arrest.
I said, "Your cousin was involved in a carjacking?" Like, I didn't understand. But I didn't want to question it too much, because I thought, like, poor girl, her cousin's passed away, and I didn't understand how the carjacking had something to do with his passing. And then finally, I said, "I don't think I understand." And she said, "Carjack arrest. You have the heart. Stop." I was, "Oh, heart attack." I said, "Next time, just say a heart attack."
I know, it's very bad. Yeah.
No, but I get it, because it was cardiac arrest, but it's just the way that syllables work in Tagalog, which is Filipino, versus Canadian. I get it. I understand why it comes out that. It's the same thing with Canadian, is Canadian.
Yeah. I know, that's right. Yeah. Sometimes you're saying in English, but your pronunciation still in Tagalog.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. But I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to be fluent in English, and
And honestly, I have the same trouble too when it comes to speaking Tagalog. Is I'm trying to say certain things in Tagalog, and there's emphatic differences, from the syllables that I'm saying sometimes, and I always try and catch myself, which is why I'm so bloody slow at saying things in Tagalog, is because I think about them over and over and over first before I say them, which can really slow a conversation down, let me tell you.
Well, you're really good, sweetheart. You're really good speaking Tagalog. That's why, I really appreciate my sweetheart. He adjusted for me. Because my English is a little bit, having hard time. So I speak Tagalog now. So I don't have more struggles. So thank you, sweetheart. Yeah.
No problem. And I'm going to do like George Costanza would say, and end this on a high note. I mean, I'm on a high note right now. I'm doing good with Tagalog. And we will wrap up this episode. And thank you all very much for tuning in, downloading, listening, whatever it is, however it is you get this podcast. We really appreciate it. If you want to send us an email to pass along some comments, stories, questions, concerns, shoe sizes, you can email us at canapino25@gmail.com. That's CANAPINO25@gmail.com. And we would be happy to get your notes and questions and so on. And hopefully we can say hi to you the next time we get a show together. Speaking of next show, it will be we'll be talking about family and traditions.
Ooh.
So that should be a fun one. We kind of touched a little bit on it with Christmas and Thanksgiving and things.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get into some more detail with that next time. In the meantime, thank you so much again for listening. And we will see you again next time.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and have a good day. And see you soon.